Hey y'all, caught me laughing this evening. Walked out here to the garden and my son Jordan is just being a complete clown. Kind of goes in line with what I was thinking about earlier. So to entertain himself, of course he's got a phone, he's got Xbox, all that, and I find him out here with a 10-foot piece of 1/2-inch PVC pipe running around like a banshee making noises. And now he's sitting look at this. Hey, now he's the children of the corn. Where'd he go? He's hiding in the corn. We're Twinkies today. He's got a boy, you are something else. Isn't that something? Getting back to the simple stuff, I guess. Let me see if I can catch him. We got a Jordan in the corn. Watch out, boy. He's something else. But no, I was thinking about the simple stuff. We was working in town this morning, and of course, now I guess you'd have to have grown up in a city or suburbs that had gutters on the street or whatever. Maybe you did it in a creek, but I grew up in the suburbs there, or not suburbs, a residential area, and had a rainstorm this morning while we was working, and I noticed the water in the gutter. Something simple, yeah, but running off to the storm drains. And I don't know if y'all have ever done it, but I know we did a lot. You ever made a pine tree boat? Pine tree bark boat, I guess is what you'd call it. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Where, as kids, when it would rain, we'd be out there, didn't have anything else to do. Didn't have TV back then, or I didn't. Not that old, we just didn't have one in the home. But we'd go peel off a piece of pine bark and take our time and break it down to make it a little boat. Then we'd set a starting line and a finish line in the gutter and see whose boat would win. Trouble is, we never figured out we put the finish line too close to the main drain, the storm drain. So if you took the time to make a good pine tree bark boat, you probably only had one run at it because you couldn't catch it in time before it went down the drain. So you have to start all over. Y'all ever did that? We did. That was fun. But I guess that's all right though, isn't it? Had a good day. My aunt challenged me up in Pennsylvania that we was talking early in our Chronicles with the first garden over there about how Mama and all would use 7 dust and just be a big old cloud in the garden. And I know a lot of folks still use it and may have to from time to time, but she challenged me to find other ways. So I've been Googling since the older set has moved on, and of course they'd have resorted to 7 dust anyway, trying to find things that would, how about, now there we go, that's cool. So I'm sorry, you'll see it in just a second. I didn't know it worked that fast. No, I don't think that's because, but still cool to see this. So ladybugs take care of aphids, all right, for those of you that don't know, and peas, southern peas, especially in this part of the country, really attract aphids. So one of the quickest ways to do it is to take 7 dust and dust it down. The problem with the aphids, Hudson's in trouble. I'll explain that in a minute. But the aphids will, sap all the stuff out and just really put a lot of burden on these young pea plants. Now you can knock them off with cold water and a blast, but the only trouble with that is they won't go back to the same plant, but there's pea plants all around. They'll go back to another one. I did that the other day, and it backfired on me because I've got some young sets coming on, and so they converged on the young peas and made it even worse. Then I read that flour will constipate the aphids. That's funny. So we may do some of that, but the main thing I want to do is get some predators of aphids out here. That's usually the best way to do it. Ladybugs are that option. Now, you can buy some, but after the blooms are gone, they're gone. So if you get another round of aphids, you're in trouble. So I got to Googling flowers that attract ladybugs and found out that marigolds attract ladybugs because they're one of the aphids' favorite flowers. It's late in the season, but I got to looking at Lowe's, and they had a bunch of them that were looking pretty rough, and they may not do any good this young, but they were, I think 50 cents a pop, so I bought about $5 worth of them. And that's what I've been doing, is putting them in the garden today. And as I was talking to y'all, I walk up here, and I'll just say there are, see, so I just planted that. There's the peas, and look who showed up. That was pretty quick. See the aphids, how they really, that's all aphids or their leavings or whatever. Those of you that have raised peas know all about that. So now we got the ladybug army is on the way, I guess. So I put some marigolds, little starters, all in the different rows of the peas, and at least it'll be somewhere for the aphids to go when I try to knock them off again. It's not bad, they're just starting to hit, but there's a few plants that, again, those of y'all that raise peas, this is common knowledge, but those of you that haven't, let me see, they're kind of sporadic, but you can see what it does to your pea plants, and sometimes it'll just darken the whole stem. Oh, look at there, there's another ladybug. How about that? You see all those aphids there? So the ladybug is going to work. So I imagine we'll have a crop of ladybugs with these peas. So I got some marigolds in the pea garden. We'll see how that works. And again, a lot of these gardens, the late summer garden I put in and then this fall garden, a lot of these crops are probably not going to make like they would in the spring, but was raised around this stuff. But you know how kids are, you really don't pay attention to what's going on, at least the intricacies of it. So this is my learning year, if you will. And we'll get a little produce along the way, but next year, you'll see. This is my goal, and I'll hit it. If I got to start in December out here plowing, but I'm gonna put this in a pretty big garden. I'm pretty sure, whether it be corn and peas, because it takes a lot of rows to make some peas. And maybe I'll have it dialed in by then, and we might have a big marigold garden along the side of it, if that works. We'll see. Well, here's the old chickens there, free ranging a little bit this evening. Kind of makes me a little nervous. I'm coming on egg laying, and I'll probably be walking on eggs everywhere. Y'all want to see the little bitties? Let's see, they're 2 weeks old tomorrow. They're doing fine. Guess be a good time to talk about why Hudson's in trouble. So we come out to feed the chickens. That's just not a place Hudson needs to be, so he stays in the fence. Well, he figured out a way to get that latch off, and me and Jordan was looking at the waterers with our back turned, heard a chicken squawk, and here comes Hudson, having a time. Boy, he chased them chickens everywhere, so I probably won't get eggs for a week. He was, I think he was in a playful mood, but we wasn't going to take any chances, because he gets a little taste of blood, that won't be any good. Anyway, so he's upset that he's behind the fence. He had him a little chicken chasing evening. Let me see who all we got watching real quick, and we'll wrap it up. I still got some errands to do, and got to eat, and I'm going to bed, probably. Going to bed with the chickens. Hey, Belinda, how are you? And Chris in Lafayette is on. My sister Kim is on. Belinda, hey, how are you? Alicia down in Port Aransas way, I think. Y'all getting a lot of rain down yonder, I'm sure. My cousin in Florida, Jana, she's here. Thank you, Carolyn. Hey, how are you? And my good buddy Donna Wells is on. Hey Gary, how are you? Yeah, that rain was excellent. Y'all can see it just perked it right up. I'm telling you, I think it's grown 2 foot since that rain. Hey Patrice, how are you? Got an inch of rain in Lockhart. Thanks, Belinda. I think we got about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. Enough that I didn't have to water again today, and we got moisture down deep, so it's good. There's my wild man comment from Donna. Comment. Me and my dang drawl. Let's see what Barbara's saying. Garden looking good. So glad you finally got rain. She's asking about the dog. I think I just covered that, but now you know why he's not running around out here. From Burn, Texas, or Bernie, I'm sorry. True Texan ought to know that. I slipped on that one. Hey Don, good to see you on here. Let's see. Float down the curbs in Fort Stockton in cardboard boxes, Belinda said. Yeah. Kimberly remembers racing those boats down the street. Rain in San Antonio, good stuff. There's Sandra. Carolyn from Nacogdoches, right up the road here. I'm sure she's passed by here. Let's see. I'll have to check into that on that aphid killer you're talking about. Mr. Manuel is watching. How are you, sir? Hey, JJ, watching with my cousin Jana. How are you, buddy? Y'all sure are growing up. Saw some of your school pictures, looking good. Okay, cool, Michelle. I'll have to put some flour out there then, if that worked. His two front teeth are doing fine now. Well, good stuff, JJ. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Molly, how are you? Let me get to these comments. Belinda from Mississippi, how are you? Mike, Cottonwood, California. Boy, y'all was under the gun with needing some rain here a while back. I hope all that fire threat has subsided. Sure had you in our thoughts and prayers. Tree's only got 1/8 of an inch in McQueenie. I see you, Molly. Good to see you. Thanks, Belinda. I appreciate that. I guess it's kind of like Seinfeld, but not quite the popularity. But it's still, I'm like, I just talk about nothing. So it's a vlog about nothing, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Enough rain, Dorothy? I don't know. That's kind of hard to... Only he knows what's enough rain. So we'll just trust his judgment on it. He's been doing this a lot longer than we have. So we got a good rain, I'll say that. It'll last us a few days. Monday on a Tuesday, that's right. That's right, Mike. Angelina County. Boy, I'm trying to get to the bottom here. My co-worker from Waco, Texas. That's a good time. Miss Judy Rogers is on. How are you, ma'am? Organic spray? Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to go as natural and as cheap as I can, to be honest with you. Hudson is going crazy. He sees these chickens. He's fine. He's mad he can't be on camera. Guess we'll have to walk over here. Can't even talk for that crazy thing. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Hey, Tanaya. A girl up in North Carolina. Under the weather this evening, so praying for her. Good to see you on. East Texas humidity, it's dripping tonight. There's my buddy Jason. Hey, brother, how are you? Miss Terry from church is watching. It was her mother that was the recipient of all that sassafras root tea that we took. I've still got a mind to go out there. I got to do it. I just got too much going. Need to pull up some more, and I'm gonna make some iced tea with sassafras. See how that works out. Yeah. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? You bet, Joey. Now, don't take it to heart. I'm just trying it out. This is just stuff I've gathered from the web. I did on the watermelons. I don't know if it was the baking soda or the soil or whatever. I read somewhere where the baking soda made them a little bit sweeter. Got to be careful with that baking soda. It's got a lot of good uses, but if you get it in concentrate, I mean, like a glob on the leaves, it'll sure burn it. It's a good tip for if y'all got, the concrete driveways with the weeds come up between the spacer boards, and a lot of people put Roundup on it, and that takes care of it. But if you'll take a little bit of baking soda and sprinkle it on whatever weeds coming up in that crack, it'll kill it dead, and in a natural way. But we put baking soda around the plants of the watermelons, and we've only cut one, and it was good and sweet. I don't know if it'd have been sweet without it, but we'll say it worked, I guess. I don't know. It happened. How about that? I did give somebody an anniversary gift today. I don't even know them. It just kind of happened. At least that's what she said. I was working with a client up in, she's in Utah tonight, and it's for a music show in Midland coming up, and working through some deposit needs and just contractual stuff for these artists. And I called her this evening, and she answered and found out she's on her on a vacation on her anniversary, her second anniversary. And I told her, well, if you'll treat every anniversary like the second one, you'll make 50 or 60 years. But she talked about how she's in commercial real estate, and the phone has just been ringing off the hook all day today, and I was just one more of those calls, so it was fine. She'd take it. And I told her, well, make me a promise. I don't know you, but I know the situation. So when we get off this phone, act like the battery's broke. You're out in the remote nowhere. You can't do anything about it anyway. And just put that phone down and act like you don't have one. I promise you tomorrow the world will still be here, and you'll be a happier couple. So she laughed and she said, you know what, I'm going to do just that. So wherever they're at, whoever they are, I guess that maybe their evening improved a little bit. Right? Nothing wrong with that. I saw a sign flash across Facebook. A friend of mine shot down in Houston. I guess it's in a restaurant. It said, no, we don't have Wi-Fi. Act like it's 1995 and talk to each other. How about that? So I guess I need to get off of here and talk to that one, since I'm just rambling to y'all, and I've got my buddy right here. So we got to go get some things done, so I'm going to wrap it for the evening. me see if I've got everybody. Boy, I hate to start naming names. I always miss somebody. I will say this. So my dad has called a Facebook ban on birthday posts tomorrow. That's just the kind of guy he is. But I'll get away with this one because I'm not posting it. He didn't say I couldn't say it in the video. I think that's right. Kimberly, I'm gonna be in trouble. So happy birthday, Dad! Day early. Sure cherish his leadership. Tell you story after story, and biggest thing with my dad, I think, is his quiet strength. And I see Christ in my dad, and that's a big deal to me. So happy birthday, Dad. I'll leave it at that before I get in trouble. If I talk about it too much, I'll get to, them ninjas will start getting in my eyes and you'll get mad at me, so I'll be quiet. There he is. So Jason, don't do that tomorrow, because it's a Facebook ban on my dad's Facebook page post, whatever. I think I'm gonna do him a favor and probably call him this evening and tell him how to turn the birthday thing off, so that'd make him happy. But anyway, I got one in on you anyway, Dad, but you didn't say I couldn't do it today, I don't think. You know me, I'm always trying to skirt the letter of the law instead of the spirit of it, right? So you can thump me on the head later. Love you much, Dad. All right, we're gonna call it. Kimberly, don't be adding to it. Don't get me in trouble. All right, y'all have a good evening. We got to calm Hudson down, and this guy's finding all kind of uses for a 1/2-inch, 10-foot piece of CPVC, and that's okay. See, anyway, I'll make stupidity, Jason. All right, well, he's gonna blame it on me. See, everybody that wishes it now is gonna blame it on me. I have done dug me a hole. I guess I've been in deeper ones though. I used to say when you're in up to your neck, can't worry about your feet getting wet. A little too late. We'll see y'all later. Be the light, make somebody smile, and Jason, stop. Like Father, like Son. All right, we'll talk with y'all later. Have a good evening. Be the light.